Hi, and welcome to another one of my guitar instruction videos. We're going to go back to the acoustic guitar and learn a great country blues instrumental from the 1920s. This is a tune by Sylvester, who's better known for some of his bottleneck work like Guitar Rag, but this is a tune I found on a cassette tape that I bought back in the 90s, and it's called I'm Busy and You Can't Come In. And it's one of the first instrumentals that I learned how to play. And I don't play it exactly note for note the way he does, but I'm pretty close. And so the way I play it will probably, if you want to learn the song note for note, you can learn it pretty easily with what I show you. So we're going to start out, it's in the key of C, and we really only use 3 chords to start out the song, the main part of the song. And once we get into the bridge, we're going to learn some other chords. They're all real basic chords you probably already know. The trick is on the right hand picking and the bass stuff. It's got an alternating bass in the tune, so if you don't know how to use an alternating bass, you need to go back and work on that first. But this is a good tune to practice and get good at, an alternating bass. Starts out in a C position. Let me just play you a part of the song. I won't play the whole thing through because it's got quite a few verses. All the verses are based on a lot of the same ideas. So I'm going to show you some of the variations and the main stuff, and then you can play it on your own, figure it out on your own. Let me just play it one time. And it goes on and on between the main part and the bridge. So let's get into the main part first, and then we'll work on the bridge. Starts out in the key of C, and this is what I'm hearing, where he's playing a C chord, first position C, and then taking his pinky and coming down on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, then open 1st string, and then 2nd string with the 1st finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. It sounds like he's pinching the bass note, the 5th string at the 3rd fret. It's like that. It's a little kind of a lead in. And then the F part, which is the hardest part, I think, to learn how to play. You've got to make an F chord like this with your F position, but then you got to throw in your thumb to get the 1st fret of the 6th string, the F bass. That's hard. It still takes me quite a bit of effort to get it. I've got big hands. If you've got small hands, it's going to be tough, but you could put a capo on and play the tune further up the neck. That's a possibility. Anyhow, so the next part goes like this. And that's just over the F. So he's starting out pinching. And he's got the F shape, and he's taking his pinky and putting it in on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and bending up. And that takes some strength and practice to get that. And he leads it off by pinching the 6th and the 2nd strings. And then pinching the 3rd and the 2nd strings. So he's got 3 pinches in a row. Then he's going to pinch the 6th string and the 2nd string without the pinky, just out of the chord shape. When you're playing alternating bass, one thing that you learn, one thing I've learned that's made this a lot easier for me, is that a lot of times you're pinching two strings, a bass string and a treble string. When I first started learning this style, I thought it was like your hands or your fingers had to do two separate things at the same time, which is pretty much impossible. But if you work together, you'll notice that they can pinch, and when they're picking at the same time, just two different strings. That's a lot easier to do. So the first part. And when he does this, then he's going to come down on the bass. So the alternating bass is 6/4, 6/4 when he's playing on the F. So he does that. And sometimes he's going to pick that third string as a lead-in note. I guess I didn't do that. There I did. And then he's going to go. This is going to play a C chord and just take his first finger and go first string, second string, third finger. Now the bass is a little tricky here. He's actually playing this 5/4, 6/4 type bass. He's not playing a straight alternating bass. So when he's playing over the 1, the C, it's like that. It's like this. Let me play it in context, or else I can't do it. So he's doing that. Now when you're playing the bass, you should try to use your third finger, your ring finger, and get both the 6th and 5th strings at the 3rd fret. I have trouble with that. My fingers are really skinny. So on this tune, sometimes I'll get them both, sometimes I'll just bounce like a cowboy tune back and forth between the 3rd fret of the 5th string and the 3rd fret of the 6th string. So let me play this again in context and watch, see if you can see what I'm doing. And then he's just going, picking the open strings in the C chord. So again, so it's pinching something like that. And then he's going to go to the G. So he's going to start out as a G7th. So this is my G chord, pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, second finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. But now I'm just going to go to a G7, take my pinky off, put my first finger on the 1st fret of the 1st string. Then I'm going to drop my pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So like this. Then hit the open 2nd and 3rd string. So without the bass, with the bass, so I'm alternating between 6 and 4. The 4 is open. So the opening lick is a pinch of the 6th string, 3rd fret, and the 1st and 2nd strings with the 1st finger on the 1st fret. So I'm pinching again when I come down with the bass, and that's when I have my pinky on the 2nd string. So it's so I'm going to go and then come down. I'm going real slow on this, just try to get that, what I'm doing. Whoops. he's going. So he's wrapping it up. So pinch, 6th and 1st string. This is with the first finger still on the 7th chord. Then he's pinching again when he comes down on the 4th string. He's going to pinch the 6th. He's going to get the pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then come down with the bass. And then to the C. Whew, that's hard. So let's go from the F. He does this little turnaround thing. So he hits the C, and then right away so he's going to kind of lead with his 2nd finger into the F. It's hard for me to get the timing. Just watch what my thumb's doing. So he's pinching the 6th and the 3rd. And then get in the 2nd string. When he comes down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, his bass is coming in. So like that. So it's then back to the C, and then he puts his pinky down on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And then he hits a couple times. There he seems to be playing the alternating bass, just the 5/4. So let's take it from the F all the way through. Now we're going to lead into the bridge part. So we do that little turnaround with the F. And then we're going to take that C with the pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string and just slide it up and then into an A. So without the bass we got... This is a long A chord. I've got my 1st finger on the 2nd fret, barring the 2nd, really the 1st to the 4th strings, and then my pinky all the way up to the 5th fret of the 1st string. So that whole lead into the first part of the bridge goes like this. Again. Whoops. It's just a real quick passing chord. You don't really play the bass on it. You can get the 5th string, but you don't want to come down or else you'll hit something that doesn't sound right. Then when we get to the A7, alternating bass is the open 5th string and the 4th string. Like that. So we do this. So again, actually we stop on the 5 again, and then to walk into the A7, we just take our 2nd and 3rd fingers and go from the 3rd to the 4th fret of the 5th string and into an A7. So our pinky like this. Again. So it's on the bass, we're going. It's kind of tricky, like this. I think that's what you're getting. And we go to A7. Then we're going to do this. Open 5th, open 4th, into the D. To a D7. First finger on the first fret of the second string. Ring finger on the second fret of the first string. Second finger on the second fret of the third string. So it's like this. So my alternating bass is my 5 and my 4 open. So again, let's do the whole part from the A7th, or the A, the long A. And we're taking our ring finger, lifting it up, putting it down on the second fret of the first string. So it's... And then we're going to the G. Just a straight G chord, going 6/4 alternating bass. Oops, I missed it. Then we're going to walk. So that whole G part. Open. Pinky onto the third fret of the second, or the third fret of the second string. So again.